Please be advised we are speaking in our own individual capacities and not representing any companies we may work for.
We are not your lawyers, and any information given during this podcast does not constitute as legal advice and is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Enjoy the episode. Hi guys, I'm Katie.
And I'm Nicole.
And welcome back to Girls Gone Legal. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. Yes. New setup. What do you think? Do we like it?
I like it. It's so comfortable.
It is really comfortable, actually.
I could sit here all day.
Fall asleep. Yeah. I can't fall asleep though because we got a really exciting episode today. We have another great guest coming in. We're going to ask some awesome questions. We're going to dive in. But for now, I'll let Nicole kind of kick it off and we'll tell you a little bit about our guest before we start quizzing them. So go ahead, Nicole.
Originally from Miami, Florida, Isabella is an experienced attorney specializing in sports, entertainment, and media law. She earned her undergraduate degree from Florida State University and her Juris Doctor from Emory University School of Law, where she launched the school's first ever social media law course. That's so cool.
It's so cool.
Before joining Table Rock Management, Isabella gained valuable in-house legal experience at leading companies including Disney, Universal, and Celsius. With nearly 7 years of firsthand experience in the influencer space, creating content and partnering with brands, Isabella leveraged her extensive network and relationships to make her dream a reality, pursuing a legal career specializing in social media law and influencer marketing. At Table Rock Management, Isabella provides legal counsel to the agency's management team. Her work focuses on production, licensing, influencer marketing, social media, and brand partnerships. She advises on influencer agreements and offers strategic legal guidance across marketing, activations, digital media deals, and collaborative campaigns. We are so excited to welcome Isabella today.
Yes.
Isa, I'm so excited. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
All right, so to get started, our first question for you is, how did that experience shape your perspective as a lawyer in the influencer space? Did you face any issues, opinions with getting into law school as a content creator?
Yeah, so I started creating content in college. So my first brand deal was with like Shoe Dazzle. I don't even know if you guys know what that is, but
it sounds familiar.
Do you guys know? It's like a subscription.
Okay, yes,
it sounds familiar, but
it's
I don't know.
Subscription.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they still a thing?
Yeah, they are. They actually emailed me recently.
Really? Oh, that's so funny.
It's like owned by Just Fab, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Like they're like whatever. They're like small entities that like bought one of them bought. I don't know. Anyway, so I was in a sorority at Florida State. I was in Tridel, and I was so scared of like scams because you know how in today's day like everybody's like collab, like it's definitely a scam. So I was like, I'm not allowing these like weirdos to like send me shoes to like my house. Like this is a scam.
Right.
So I like did it to the sorority house, and then like the sorority mom was like, "Hi, Isa, like your package is here." I'm like, "Oh." So like I went to the sorority house and they were there. I was like, "Wait, these are cute." So that was like how I like really like started off like in the influencer space. Like of course it was all like gifting. This was like in college, like sophomore year of college. So like 2018 or 19, no, it was like 2021. I don't know, but anyways, it was before like it was popping off now, like it is now. So whatever, I essentially like kept getting like brand deals. Like I did Amazon influencer, I did all these different like brand deals in college, and like I just noticed like there's no contracts, like nothing's in writing, like it's all based on like verbal back in the day. So it's like, oh, we'll send you 2 pairs of shoes in exchange for like 1 post. Like there was no Regals back in the day. I don't even know if there were stories, but whatever. So I was like, there's no contracts. Like what's going on here? So then like as time went on, like contracts were kind of starting like to become a thing. Like brands are like, hi, here's this contract. So I was like, oh, okay. Like there could be like something here with like the law, you know, obviously like when you're born, like when you grow up, like the law vibe is very like, order in the court, like you know, like courtroom and like all these like scandals and like murder trial, like that was not my vibe. So I really felt like I could kind of like shape this into like something cool, like fashion, law, like you know, there's like different areas. I've always been into fashion and content creation. So as I moved on in college, I was like, I'm gonna go to law school, but like specifically to do this like type of area. And like I would meet with all kinds of lawyers, like counsels, like I'd meet with personal injury attorneys, like trial attorneys. And of course, like if you guys haven't experienced this yet, like you probably have, they're like, don't be a lawyer. Like it's just like so much work. Like, And then I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do like your thing. I'm trying to do like influencer marketing, social media, like,
Yeah.
and they're like, that's not a thing. Like, it was just very like negative, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, like it's definitely a thing, or like it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's up and coming.
Yeah.
So I just kept like pursuing that. And then with content creation, I'm from Miami, and this is like controversial sometimes, but like I definitely post like in bikinis, and like I kind of like am in like the sun, and like, you know,
Right.
like you're just like wearing crop tops, and like I'm in the Bahamas somewhere, or like in Key West. And I felt like a lot of the people that I like would meet with in the legal space, like as I was like trying to like get into law school and applying, it was very much like, you're not going to get in. Like, there's too much content of you online. Like, by no means am I like this huge creator, but like if you Google me, you can see like there's definitely like some like, you know, like bikini pics, like
Right.
not Alex Earl vibes, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you just live in Miami. So it was pretty hard. Like I had to like go on Google and like submit requests to get like takedowns.
Really?
And like, nothing was like bad. Like if you guys saw, you wouldn't be like, what's going on?
Right.
But
it's just not the
like,
norm for people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like these law school admissions committees, which I actually like at one point was like assisting with Emory's admissions. Like I'll explain later, but they're looking at this. So it was pretty hard. Like I was scared. I really didn't think I was going to like get in anywhere, but I ended up getting into Emory, which like, I don't know now what the ranking is, but at the time it was pretty high.
Yeah, it's so high.
It was like 25 or I can't remember, but 27. And I like fully cold emailed like one of the deans and was like, I need coffee. Like I need to get into this school.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
Wow.
No.
To go straight to one of the deans?
Yes.
We did, and
That's
you didn't know you
amazing.
wanted to go to law school until this whole like epiphany of like, I can do it. And
I always wanted to be a lawyer since I was young. Like my personality is very like straightforward. Like I'm not playing games. Like, you know? So my parents and like siblings would always be like, you need to go to law school. Like, so I was like, you know, I was like, I had attitude.
Right.
But I wasn't going to like, obviously I love Elle Woods. Like she's my queen, but I wasn't trying to like go to the courtroom and be like, you know, murder trial.
100%.
That's not my vibe.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I make this more like transactional and like fun and cute?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Wait,
I want to take after Issa.
You need
Like,
to go
this
back
is,
to
like,
the
my
dean thing. Like
inspiration right
that is
here.
so wild. I love that.
Okay, so basically my mom is a queen. She's just like, I love her. Like she's like my icon. But basically she called me one day and was like, you know, like realistically, like you don't have like the like numbers to get into law school. And like, I'm super transparent about like GPAs and LSATs and all this stuff. Like I took the LSAT 4 times. I studied for a year and a half. Like I like went hard. I'm just not a good test taker.
Right.
So I like knew that my GPA was going to have to like push me. And I had a good GPA. I can't remember exactly, but I had like a 3.9 or 3.8, like something up there for sure. But my LSAT was like in the low 150s. Like if you guys know, like that's like not that great for like the level of schools that the Emorys, the Vanderbilts, like good luck. You're not getting in.
Yeah.
So I was like on my stalker mode and I was like, I need to find someone to like chat with me. Like if they'll just give me like 10 minutes, I feel like they'll let me in.
Yeah.
And whatever. So I like sent like 30 emails, like randoms, like, you know, like on the website, like you search like blank law school, like dean of blank, dean of blank. Like, I'm like straight up like, hi, like it's giving Elle Woods admissions video. Like,
no, wait, that is so smart.
Admissions video.
Also, like I don't even have to work that hard. The emails are there.
Yeah, wait, and what
like,
are you saying? Like just this, like I want to grab a coffee?
Yeah. No, yeah, I was like super manipulative. I was like, hi, like I'm super like passionate about like going to your law school. Like I saw that like you guys just recently implemented X, Y, and Z. Like I'm going to be in town, fully not going to be in town. Like just like gaslighting.
I'll get in town.
I'll get in town
I'll be in town if they say
you want me there, I'll be there.
Yeah, like I will drive, fly, like helicopter, I'll make my way. So I'd be like, you know what, I'd love to chat, like whatever. But I was only doing this for my law school, by the way. But like this could be like, this little skill could work for any school.
Yeah.
You know? So like obviously these people are like, some of them of course like don't reply, which whatever, like your loss. I still got in.
Yeah.
But one of them was like, oh my God, like I don't think she realized exactly what the request was. I think she was just like, oh, like this girl like wants to be a lawyer. Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
So she's like, yeah, sure. Like, are you free tomorrow? I was literally at FSU. I was like, yep. Got in my car, drove to Atlanta. I was like, I'm coming. Like,
stop.
Oh, no. My now fiance and my sister and twin brother all lived in Atlanta because they were in chiropractic school. So they like, I had somewhere to sleep, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
But I was like, I got in my car and like, I was like, yep, see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Like fully drove. So I go and like, I meet her for coffee, like at the school. And like, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I want to come here. Like, this is my dream. Like, I'm just like pitching myself to this
Right.
woman. And I didn't really know how it went. Like, I did get the vibe that she was like, okay, like this girl has like hustle, you know? But anyway, so I emailed her like following up, like, thank you for meeting with me, whatever. And then I basically was like, I just applied. And then she answered back and was like, a letter has been sent to the admissions office. Like, let me know like what you hear back. I got
Wow.
in 24 hours later.
Stop. Wait,
Yes.
I've never heard a story like this ever. Like, that's
Yes.
amazing.
I got in 24 hours later. It was amazing news because I obviously was super happy, but I had just like, you know how like that platform for the applications, like you literally have to pay like $200-$300 or
Oh,
maybe it's
yeah.
less or more now, but
just
you
apply.
pay for
Yeah,
each
it's so
school.
much.
Yeah.
The minute you get in, I did like early decision because of course I was like serious. Like everything has to be withdrawn. Like I had to go into the application and like withdraw all the other ones. I'd spent like $2,000 applying to all the other schools. So yeah, so I get in 24 hours later and they called me. I was like working at a law firm and they called me and they were like, hi, like, is this Isabella? I was like, yeah. They didn't tell me like that I got in. They were like, make sure you're near your inbox. Like, we're going to send some correspondence soon. And I was like, okay, like about to cry. And then obviously I get the email. They're like, you've been admitted, like send your deposit.
Wow, that must
So-
have been the best day.
I
get that-
the
I left
feeling of
you
getting into law
office.
school, like I feel like everyone remembers. Like I remember
yeah.
looking at it on my Apple Watch and like reading like, does that
Yeah.
say accepted? Like freaking
No,
out.
It was iconic. But why I brought up my mom was because my mom was like, listen, like you have to be realistic about like your options. And I was like, girl, you don't know me. Like I'm going to this school.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's beautiful, but like you need a backup. I was like,
Right.
there's no
That's
backup.
beautiful.
Right.
I'm going to this school. So yeah.
No, I
And
love
so I
that.
went.
And you said you were working at a law firm before that. Was that just like
was,
in
like,
between?
nothing-
Were
yeah.
you still in college? What was that timeline?
I was in college and like, of course, like I'm sure you guys have heard this. It's like, you know, you need experience while you're in college and like who's hiring you in college? Like, unless you're like a filing cabinet person at a law firm downstairs. Like, I don't know. So I was just like going with the flow of like, I went to FSU. I was living in Tallahassee. I worked at like a random, like it was a super good law firm, like for what they do, but it was like commercial litigation or like, I don't even remember.
Nothing
I was
you
like,
wanted.
fully just like, I was like, okay, like I'll get my $15 an hour and like, I'll sit here so I can put this on my resume.
Right.
But no, it was great. Like I still talk to the owner of the law firm, like till today, but like nothing that like shaped this like area of law. It was more so just like, I need something on my resume.
Do you think it helped like to have that on your resume or?
I think when you're like putting yourself out there to get into law school, like, and these people are reading your resume and it's like currently a legal intern, like to them, they're like, oh,
She
she's
cares.
interested in law.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't like propose myself like as like social media content creator who wants to attend law school. Like I definitely made it very like vague, but if I can go back in time, I would definitely made it more like my personality and like fashion and like law and media. But it was very controversial. Like my law school, and I don't know about yours, but my law school is very traditional. Like everything is set up to be a litigator. Everything is very like black and white law. Like walk around with your pocket, what's that called? Your pocket, like the amendment or whatever, constitution or something. I don't even know.
Oh yeah.
I know
Your
what you're
US
talking
Constitution in your
about.
pocket. Yeah.
Like, not putting that in my pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was the vibe. So like I was really like controversial. Like even in general, like as a student there, people were definitely like, who is this girl?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So yeah, that's how I got into Emory.
That's good.
I
You
love
stand
that.
out.
Yeah,
Then people know you.
100%.
You're working
Yeah,
hard.
for
Doing
sure.
what
No
you
one wants
wanna
to
do.
be lost in the crowd. So
No,
Yeah.
never lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
how would you like? I know you kind of talked about it there, but do you think there was any specific instances where you were going against that crowd when it came to like, I don't want to go into big law. I don't want to go into litigation. I mean, that's something it's an ongoing topic with us because I do feel like is such a perpetuated idea in law school of like, no, this is the right way to go. And you sometimes get brainwashed into it. And I think we've all been through the times where like all of a sudden you sit back and you're like, wait, do I want to go to big law? Wait, that money sounds good. Is this what I want? And it takes a lot to kind of break away to be like, wait, that's not me. These aren't what my like desires are. So what was your experience with that?
I have a lot of thoughts on this question, honestly.
Yeah,
But
go for it.
I have a lot to unpack here. So as I mentioned before, I just like was like big law, like clerking or any of that, like like that whole entire area was like absolutely like off like limits for me. Like it wasn't even like a topic in my brain. Like I didn't do OCI. Like I was not even near this. Like I was so far detached. Like with honestly, like at the time, like that was kind of risky. But I just like didn't care. I was like, you guys can go on and like do your big law, but I just like had no interest at all. Like I've heard, obviously you hear the stories like big law, they work you to death or whatever, but that wasn't even the point for me. Like I knew that I didn't want to be on LexisNexis. I didn't want to be on Westlaw. Like I was like, till this day, I can confidently say throughout my entire time working in and out of law school, I've never, ever looked up a case in any of those platforms.
Wow.
Never.
That's crazy.
I've
in law
never
school,
gotten a
green
research
that.
assignment.
Wow.
Never. Like, of course, like here and there, I'm looking up like relevant case law if there's like something going on, but I've never like done like a research assignment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's all been like voluntarily like looking something up.
Right.
But yeah, so I just felt very like confident in like this area of social media and entertainment. I had no interest in going to the law firm. All my friends went on to do OCI. They were like, I need to be at X law firm. I need to be making like $225 or whatever the salary is these days. I don't even know what it is, but I didn't care. I was like, I will work for like 75K, which that's like, my salary is over that, but I'm saying at the time I was like, I don't care. I just want to work in-house in this like media law, entertainment like area. And like, no one's going to stop me.
Yeah.
So everyone went on to OCIs. I was like, not sitting in on this, didn't even submit. I was like, I'm not doing this. So it's really like going against the crowd is really hard because I feel like when you're trying to get these in-house, like even internships, as I've mentioned, I've worked for Universal, Disney, UPS, like I've done all these in-house roles and it's all like networking and it's also a different like time of application. So I think like these big law firms like extend offers so early, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I remember
like a year in
going to
advance.
Christmas break. Well, when is it?
It's like a year in advance. Like people are getting their offers now for next year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's not how corporations work. Corporations are based on like quarters.
Right.
So like Q4 has new budget, whatever. So when the quarter begins, they're like, okay, we're going to hire a legal intern.
Right.
So I was like just networking so hard. I think like in 2021, I did like 200 networking calls. Wow. And there's like a science to this. And all the people that have messaged me on LinkedIn, I've talked to so many different like law students, like incoming law students, like recent grads that are like, how did you like navigate? How did you get into this area? Like, I don't want to do big law.
Right.
And I always tell them like my little, like not game, but my approach here.
Right.
So in short, in summary, it's essentially, I would like write down a list of the companies I would like to work at. So obviously on these lists were like Warner Brothers, Disney, Spotify, Universal, Netflix, Hulu. Like I would just write them all out. And I would go on LinkedIn and I would go to the company's LinkedIn and then search like under people. I would search like counsel and the job title or like business affairs. So like my title, I'm the attorney for Table Rock Management and my title is like business and legal affairs. Like that's just the way that the titles are in like the entertainment industry. Like you're not necessarily like attorney or lawyer. You have like a business title. Right. So I like learned that. And so that's how I would find a lot of these like lawyers. Obviously I would just verify that they did go to law school based on like their LinkedIn like education. But anyways, I would add all of them on LinkedIn and then I would wait, you know, I don't want to be creepy. I would wait for them to like connect with me. And then after like 2 or 3 days or like a week of them being accepted, like them accepting me, I'd just like message them and be like, hi, Nicole, like I see that you work at Disney. I'm super interested in this area of law. I am a 2L at Emory. And I just would love to chat about like your career path in hopes like to be an in-house lawyer one day at XYZ company or at an entertainment whatever company. And I feel like I had like a very good response rate. Like they would respond. Like, of course you have the few that ghost you, but they would answer, and I would just be so quick. Like the minute they respond, I'm like, I'm not wasting 1 minute. They would be like, hi, yes, like I'm free at like next week on Wednesday. I'm like, how does 1 p.m. sound? Like, here's the link. Like I would like, I was like very persistent.
Right.
Because the next time these people are like sitting on their couch, like to go on LinkedIn is going to be like in 2 months. Like I can't like risk that.
Yeah.
So whatever, I would chat with them. But the key thing about this, like this process is that you have to have like time. Like if you don't have time, like you're out. So example, I knew that all the like entertainment hubs were posting jobs like in New York, LA, Miami, Nashville now with country music in like January, early January, February. So I knew that I had like to be ahead for like 6 months. I was like, okay, 6 months before this, I have to like hit these networks.
Yeah.
So I would like plant the seed back in the day, and then like I would like nurture them. So I think like the mistake that people like get, like that they get confused is that they're just like, oh, I'll just message a few people like right when the job is already live.
Right.
Like you're out.
And we were saying this, the attorneys know what you're doing when you do it that way.
They're fully like playing with your game.
Yeah.
But like they were once in this game too. So
right.
I'm like, respectfully, like you can like give me some help. You can help me here.
Yeah.
So whatever, basically I would like talk to them, and then it was like a stretch. Like it was a stretch. Like I'd be like, I saw the fireworks show got updated at Disney. Like would love to chat about that and any of my updates for 3L. Are you free? Like I was like, it was a stretch. Like I saw It's a Small World got renovated. Like, I'm sorry, what? Like
I love that.
I was like so like out there. Like,
but it worked.
I saw the new Hulu series that dropped. Never seen it.
I love it.
Dude, they'd be like, yes, I've been watching the new fireworks show. Like, are you free tomorrow? I'm like, how's this working?
Yeah, I love that.
You know, because you're reaching out and you're showing that you're interested.
You using LinkedIn like in other, like other than messaging people, are you like posting on there too? Or are you just using it as like a conversation?
No. I'm like so secretive. Like,
really?
No, I'm not posting.
Oh, I love it. So you're just like using it as your little chat forum to them. I love that. Yeah.
But here's the hack. It's really like, I'm like FBI at the time. Now I'm like vibing, but
right.
So I'm like, what's your email? That's literally, if anyone takes away anything from this podcast,
right.
What's your email?
Yeah.
Then it's like first name, last name at Disney.com. Like I'm just giving you an example. Like that's not actually it, but like, okay. So now I'm like stunning. So now I see, like, let's say her name is like Amanda, this one lawyer. I'm like, okay, Amanda's little coworker named Alex. I know Alex's first and last name.
So now LinkedIn. You know his email.
So now I'm like, alex.blink@disney.com. Hey, queen.
Yeah.
And then it goes through.
Will you say
when
like...
I would send an email and I didn't get like return to sender, I'm like, she ate.
I love it. What would you say in these emails if you're just cold outreaching? Like, what are you saying? Like
the same thing as LinkedIn, but a little bit more like profesh, because obviously it's like not a chat. But I would just say like, hi, blank, like, I hope you're well. My name is like Isabella and I'm a 2L at Emory. I'm super passionate about like the entertainment space. I'm like in XYZ, like I would include like different things. Like I'm like the VP of blank, like obviously like whatever you're involved in. And I'm in the transactional program at Emory. Obviously I will say once I got the job at Universal and then I got the job at Disney, like at this point, like not that I'm like accepted, but they're like,
you don't need to keep
you're
proving yourself.
So like,
yeah.
Like I'm name dropping at this point. I'm like, I worked for blank who you're connected with.
Yeah.
Like I started to like get a better response versus before when I was a nobody. I mean, I was still nobody, but like, you know.
No.
I mean, Issa, when I reached out to you on Instagram, I was like, what's your phone number, your email? Like, we'll talk everything. I was like, are you free tonight to talk? I remember it was like that night I asked you if you're free to talk and we like jumped on the phone right the next day.
Oh yeah, no. Like persistence and ski. I couldn't, obviously it's fine, but I couldn't talk that night because like, obviously my fiance comes home and it's like dinner and like, I'm like, I can't like,
You gotta take a break. You gotta turn off.
I don't have the energy. Like I'll just talk during work hours because he obviously works in an office. So it's like, he's not asking questions.
Yeah.
But anyways, it just gets busy at night, but whatever.
No, for sure.
No, like the minute, like obviously you're like, can we record on Sunday? I'm like, oh, sure.
I was like
Persistence. It's key.
I was like, this is a crazy question, but like, can you record with us this Sunday? I know it's in a couple days. It's a quick turnaround time. And she was like, yes. And I was like, I mean, I love this.
It is the nature of like the entertainment space too. Like it's like, hurry up, do this quick. Okay, now it's chilling.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Like you, like sometimes I'd get lazy, like just like, I don't know, finals or like things would come up and like I'd have like missed messages. Like they would respond and like I'm talking like, this is like counsel at Spotify. Like, excuse me, like why is the counsel at Spotify talking to me? Like they should not even be talking to me.
I love that.
Somehow they are. And then I'm here like with my iced latte at Starbucks, like ignoring this man.
Yeah,
it's like, excuse me, like you're nobody. Like you need to respond. So I would try to be so like persistent and quick, but obviously like, you know, law school's rough. So
yeah.
But anyways, I was really persistent. So basically what I'm saying is that I was like very like I would follow up. Like I was planting a seed that like I knew wasn't gonna like work or like help me until like months later.
Right.
And I think that's the issue is like law students now are like, oh, I emailed her and like she didn't answer and like I followed up and like now the job posting is closed. And I'm like, yeah. You had to have been like in the game like way back when.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, and like I would set like little like this is a lot of work though. Like now I haven't networked in a hot minute, but I would like put calendar invites. I'm like in 6 months email like Alex or email blank. Like you know, I would like try to make a note. But
so right now,
I started getting these
one else should be doing this. Like timeline wise,
oh
like
my God,
one else should start figuring like after exams, you should start figuring it out.
Yes.
I also think that too, like, all right, they emailed, they followed up, now the job posting closed. Like, don't give up after that. Stay connected with that person if you can. You never know who they might know, who they could put you in touch with. Like, stay connected with that person. That job might close, but that doesn't mean another one's gonna open soon.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So my first summer, I worked for Universal Creative, which is if you guys know what Disney Imagineers are, they're like the ones that like fix the rides and right. So Universal Creative is the same thing as Disney Imagineers, but for Universal Studios. So they're like the like creatives behind like if you've seen Epic Universe, have you seen the new park?
Yeah.
That was my project when I was a 1L.
Wow.
So I worked on like all the like Epic Universe stuff. And like at the time it was super confidential. Like we had to leave our phones in a box when we like walked in. Like it was so confidential because it was a whole new like IP and a park.
Yeah.
So it was super strict. Like I couldn't tell anyone that I was working on it. Like I would just say like, I work for Universal, but whatever. It was super serious. And obviously now that it's like out there and like everything's like launched and it's like built, it's crazy. But so yeah, so the first summer I interviewed for Disney and Universal.
Wow.
And I didn't get Disney. I got Universal, which was amazing. But I'm saying like I still had the HR lady's info. I still had the lawyer I talked to. Like I would follow up. Like some of them, this is such a like a hack. And honestly, like I know people are going to say this is like controversial, but some of these lawyers are like, oh my God, like you're on social, like I'll follow you. I'm not even kidding. One of the head lawyers at Louis Vuitton follows me till this day.
I love that.
That's funny.
Currently still follows me. So all that to say, like I have like a lot of like big name lawyers that still follow me from my networking days.
Oh, I love that.
So anyways, what I'm saying is that obviously people say it's controversial to have like social or like content, like when you're in law school and all this stuff like that I face going in.
Right.
But honestly, like they message me. So
it worked
they literally
out.
respond to my stories like, love this. I'm like, hey.
That's well, you know what? You're being yourself. And, you know, people respect that. I respect that. It's hard to find. You're being yourself, you know? You're on a public platform and you're posting what you want to post that expresses your personality and who you are. I mean, I know going back to earlier when we talked about like the bikini photos. Like, I love going like on vacation and taking photos. Like I have the camera, I bring it. I'm that annoying like daughter friend on the vacation, but I just love doing that, and that's like who I am. And I post them. Like I would never post anything that's crazy, but like this is who I am. But I did ask myself at one point. I said, do I have to stop that? Like now that I graduated law school, I was like,
and that's what you said, like the norm. Like I think I had slightly similar when I came in. I was an actor first, so I was an actor. I've done this for so long, and with being in acting, like I don't really always get to choose what I do and what I say and how I look. And there's been times where I'm like, oh, is this going to be an issue getting into law school? Is this going to be an issue after law school? And I think I've just shifted my mindset, and I'm like, if firms have an issue with it, then they're not the firm for me, kind of thing. And and they're not the law school for me. And it worked out so far.
I have a super crazy story. I'm not gonna like obviously like give too much info, but shortly after like graduation and the bar, and I'd already passed and everything, I was job searching, and I met with this attorney, and he has represented like very, very big country artists. Like the top of the names, if you can list them, you would get them right. Like that's how top of the line this guy represents, okay?
Right.
And we'd always been chatting. Like he like loved my personality. Like on email, on Zoom, we've chatted a few times. Like I finally meet him in person, whatever. I'm like super excited. And he's like, this is so like crazy, but he's like looking at me, and like while we're meeting in person, like I'm just like noticing that he's like very like he's kind of like in, not like in shock, but he's like kind of like studying me. And he's like, you know, I get it now. I'm like, what? And he's
Get
like,
what?
I just honestly thought that like, I just like didn't take you serious, to be honest. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, it's just like the social media. Like, I don't know. Are you trying to be Kim Kardashian, or are you trying to be like a lawyer? Like, which one? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you know, like, I guess like now that I'm meeting you in person, like I can understand like you're very sellable, you know, like if I was, he literally said, if I was to put my money like in stock, like I would invest in you, because like I know you're like gonna like pop off essentially. And I was like, what? Like I was so confused. Like, you know, it's either like some people, and it's kind of like, it's not that it's relevant, but I can see what he means. Like he told me that like there's other examples that, and like this can happen in real life. Like even at my current job, like, you know, it's kind of like, are you going to do your job, or are you trying to like post a TikTok?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind
Right.
of, I get it, but I do not like post content or like make content during work hours. Like
Right.
obviously there are fine lines. I'm genuinely too busy.
Yeah.
But I can see where the concern is, you know,
But it's funny that
it
you
was just,
can
like,
be both.
very strange.
Like that comment of like,
Yeah.
are you going to be Kim K, or are you going to be a
Yeah.
lawyer? It's like the response is funny because nowadays it's just
Yeah.
like, I'm going to be both, and what?
Right, right.
Is Kim K
Yeah, it
not
was,
being in the
true,
beauty
true.
bar past? I
it's
don't
just
know.
like awkward, you know, because I
Yeah.
can see like it all stems back to like the traditional norms of law
Right.
and lawyers. Like
Yeah. Which is toxic, I think. But
it's definitely toxic. And like if you've been seeing on TikTok, like girls are like, if you work in big law, like get off of TikTok. Like essentially they're saying like you can't be in both. And I kind of agree. Like you can't really be in both like at the same time.
yeah.
There's gotta be like lines. Like for example, we're filming this on a weekend. Like
Yeah.
I would only be able to film this like after work hours, unless like I scheduled, like, you know, like you have to be smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just like be creating content all day at your day job.
Right.
Like if that's what you're doing, like that's great, but like you're gonna get caught at some point, and like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be an issue with like efficiency and like if you're actually working.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
That's
like,
where
your
it becomes
focus.
like a problem.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like it's kind of hard.
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
I feel like it's hard. I feel like it's becoming more normal in every industry now. So it's kind of
Yeah.
inevitable that it's going to be a thing in the legal industry. But I also think like there is a different caveat that comes to like, you're not pulling your phone out in the middle of like a work day too. We got confidentiality to worry about. We got
Right.
like an extra layer. So I think you just got to be like a little bit more
Yeah.
cautious.
And just
Yeah.
like focus on what's in front of you. You're at work all day. Focus on your work. When you
Yeah,
come home,
yeah.
you can do like your content creating. You could do
If you can
hang
do
out with your
both,
friends, go to dinner, do whatever else you want to
great,
do. Any
but-
activities, hobbies,
Yeah.
passions. But like just focus on what's in front of you. Because then if you start mixing everything,
Yes.
that's when things start to get just
Blurry.
crazy
Yep.
and there's chaos. And then it's like, well, why
If
am
you
I not
can do it, do it. But if you can't,
Yeah.
like, I think it's the other thing is the legal world
Yeah.
is so like your brain's going a mile a minute when you're at work usually. And I'm not saying other jobs aren't, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll even have the mental capacity to do both. So it's like,
Oh, I'm telling you, I basically had to film this. I've been getting like a couple little brand deals. Like content creation has been slower with like working now, but I had to film. I've been getting a lot of like bridal brand deals because I'm getting married in October.
right.
So right before in the break between this, I was like, let me film this voiceover, like because I had to like film this. It's basically this ad for a company called Courtly. It's like a name change kit service.
Oh
It's
yeah,
kinda
I've
like-
seen
Okay.
this. I've seen this.
Yeah, it's like they send you a box. It's like how you legally change your name.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah, yeah.
They send you like all the docs for your state, whatever. So I filmed this ad. I literally made my fiance be in it. He was like not having it. He was like, "Why do I have to be in this?" I'm like, the brief says include your partner.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, whatever." So I'm like filming the voiceover, and I'm like, this took me like 15 tries. Like I could have not done this like during the workday. Does that make sense? Like it's just like, I don't know. Like that's why I never honestly accept brand deals, because like I am not good at like sending content on time, because like things come up and like, again, this is not my full-time job.
Yeah.
But like here and there, like I get a couple $100,000. I'm like, okay, slay.
Yeah.
So,
Why not?
Wait, I want to go back really quick. Your wedding photos, like your engagement photos on your
God.
I know, I
Instagram
was
are
stalking.
so beautiful.
Stunning.
Like when I went on your Instagram, I was like, oh my God, like this is inspo right here. Like I'm gonna make a Pinterest board.
Oh
They're
my
so
God.
pretty.
No, thank you so much. My mom, again, as I've already mentioned her, but she's like the queen of fashion, and like I got it from her. So we were like really like, we thought it through. Like we had mood boards. Like I was like, I need this car. It was insane. Like both of the dresses were like custom made, like fully like
Gorgeous.
like I had to buy the fabric, take it to a woman. She like fully like corset like to my body. It was crazy.
I love it.
But yeah, I was trying to definitely do like be out of the box. In Miami, a lot of people do like the beach vibe. I was like, I'm trying to go for like 1900s like vintage content. Like this has to look like it was like in a box for 30 years, like dusting away.
No, I love that. I think that's so fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go back to what you said before about like not being your full-time job, like content creating. And I think that's just a good topic to talk about, because we talk about like, all right, you can do it all, and we really do believe in that. But you know, a lot of people ask me like, you know, we have our podcast, like, oh, are you only doing the podcast? Like you went to law school, and I'm like, no. Like my full-time job is like working, lawyer, like bar exam, all of that. I said, this is like what we love to do for like a passion and for fun and to network and connect and just like talk about our lives. But it is like interesting when people ask you like, oh, like you're a content creator, is that all you do? Like, no, you're a lawyer, you're reading contracts all day, you know, and you balance it all. And like, that's so amazing and inspiring.
Yeah. It's definitely like, you have to know when to bring it up, you know? And I think that's like, that's
time and
really
place.
important.
Yeah.
You have to know who you're talking to. Like if you're in the creative space and you're like, for example, when I got my job at Table Rock, like they were like, oh, she does content. Like she knows usage, like she knows deliverables, and she knows like the briefs, and she knows like whitelisting, and she knows all these different like terms in this industry. Like she's got this, like versus like, if I were to do that, like at a big law interview and be like, yeah, I like do reels. They're like, next. You know what I mean? Like there's 100%. A time and a place. So.
100%.
And that's not to say that like you can't create content if you're a big law lawyer. Like I follow a few and like they're popping off. It's just like, I feel like it depends like on your manager and like when you're creating the content. Like, you know, people do like day in the life and like they do a short clip of them at work, like worked blank and like next like
yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I mean, and you talked about this when you said like it gave you kind of like an awareness of the industry because you were in it. For people who decide, oh, I don't want to do content creation, like totally, like I think more do than no. It's just like, oh yeah, this isn't for me, but I want to get into the social media law space. I know you had started Emory's first social media law course. I would love to like talk about like, one, what do you recommend for people who don't have that at their schools and want to learn about it to do what you're doing now? And two, kind of, how did you even make this happen? Like, what was that like?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, I was like so passionate about this area, and you know, all of us are on TikTok. Like, even if you're not interested in this area, you're on social media. Right. So I just felt like people are interested, no matter what type of law you're trying to get into. You're interested in social media. I would think. So I essentially was doing I can't remember what it's called, but it's like when you're working for like a professor, research kind of.
Oh, research
like
assistants, yeah.
But it wasn't really like a researching. Like she was kind of like, I just want you to like make like Emory, like she just wanted me to like add a class or like do something more like social media facing. Like how can we like, I was working with admissions at one point, like fully interviewing, like people would DM me and be like, I want to go to Emory. So then I would talk to them and then forward the info to admissions and be like, yeah, she's a vibe. And like people got in.
I love that.
Obviously people didn't, but essentially I was like trying to filter in the like more media people.
Right,
you know, like media, social, like not the like litigators, which love litigators, but you know.
Right.
So anyways, I proposed this class and I didn't have much research on like other schools that were doing it.
Right.
I don't want to say the wrong school, but another like Ivy school, I'm not going to say because I actually don't know which one it was. They were offering it. They were the only other people. So I messaged the professor. She follows me on Insta, LOL.
Columbia?
And I was
Columbia
like,
looks like they have one.
what'd you say?
Columbia has a regular laws of social media
Yes,
class.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Okay, so Columbia, I messaged Columbia and I was like, the professor, she still teaches it, I think. And I was like, can we chat? And she was like, of course. So we chatted and I was like, listen, I'm trying to like start the social media law class at Emory. Like, can you send me any docs? Like, and she's like, yep, I'll send you my textbook. I'll send you my syllabus. Like, here's all this stuff. So I was like, perfect. Like, this is amazing. Like, I have like all the like, I have the whole class written out for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I made a lot of changes because it wasn't really focused on like today's social media.
Right.
You know, like TikTok. It wasn't on TikTok or like Insta really. It was more so like the media, like not like TV.
Right.
You know? So whatever, I grabbed these docs and I essentially like worked them into like more relevant topics. And I essentially proposed it to the board of Emory, like the committee that essentially allows you to add courses into the to the curriculum. And they were definitely kind of like, we're not fully like getting this. Like, what's the point of this?
Right.
And I was like, this is the whole point. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
We need this this course. Like, and they're like, how many seats? And I was like, they were like giving me options, like small, medium, whatever. And they're like, what if we just start with like 24? I was like, I knew that it was going to fill up in like 2 singular seconds. So I was like,
Yeah,
let's try 24.
Yeah.
You wait.
Well, you'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see. So whatever, I partnered with, they were like, who's going to teach the class? Like, you have all this stuff, but like, who's the teacher?
Right.
And I was like, oh, I didn't think this one through. So I had a very good like connection at Warner Brothers. She is an attorney in Atlanta. They have a headquarters there. Now it's like Discovery because they bought them out. But she was like amazing. And she was like, I'm so down to teach it. She was an Emory alum. So she was like, I'm so down, like whatever. So she kind of like curated it into like her own way, obviously as the professor.
Right.
Like she definitely like finished up the work of like really like fine tuning the details and the syllabus. And she made the final exam and everything. And then she taught it. And so, yeah, on the day of like drop ad, this sounds so far away from me, but on drop ad, I'm not even kidding. I think like I reloaded, like I didn't even get in.
What?
I didn't even get in.
Please tell me they put you in though.
They put me in.
Okay, good.
I was like, yeah, there's no way.
Origin of it.
Better go sit in that
I was like
class.
screaming at the registrar. They're like, it's not. Unfortunately, all the seats are full. It is not confirmed. Like you if somebody drops out, I'm like, respectfully, I made this.
Yes.
Respectfully.
That's
I literally
crazy.
made this class. Like, what do you mean?
It literally would not have existed without
me.
me.
Like, this is literally only on the registrar because I made it.
Yeah.
And I even told the registrar, like, do you not understand? Like, I like made this class.
Yeah.
They're like, unfortunately, we have a policy. I'm like, okay. So I had to wait all Christmas break because it was a spring semester course to wait and see if I was going to get into my own class.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So they add more seats and I get in, thank God, but not by any finesse. Like I had to fully like get in on my own. Like I had to sit at 9 a.m. on the computer, hope to get a seat. So it ended up being like 60 people. Like they kept opening it because people were complaining.
Wow.
So it was an iconic course. The final exam was on TikTok. Like it was the best class. It was just very relevant. Like we would do like trending. This is actually funny. You guys laugh. There was like a trending topic in the first 10 minutes. Like, so people would raise their hand and be like, blank. And it was like what was that app called it's like you have to take the picture right now.
Be Real.
Oh,
Be Real. So Be Real had launched. I don't know if you guys still use it. I personally don't, but Be Real had launched. And like, I remember being like, so a new social media app launched this week. And like, I literally thought but it was cool at the time. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a really cool story.
I want to like do this at my school. Like I think we need
God,
this
you should
program.
do it.
Like yeah. Okay, so what would you say then for other than oh my God, just go ahead and create your own class. But like if we're getting pushed back, we can't do it. What is something that you would recommend for like people in law school that they can still like learn about social media law when they don't have access to actually taking a class?
Yeah. I mean, obviously like the first recommendation is to obviously try to get the class in your school.
Right.
You would really think that it's really hard, and I'm sure at some schools it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a really good marketing thing for them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we offer social media law. Like, if they were like, if they had this in their marketing, I'd be like, I'm going there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a marketing tactic at this point. You know, law school is very like competitive, and like people are like drawn to different places for whatever reason. And if you can like get this like media entertainment, like for example, like University of Miami law, they're very big in like media and sports because of all the companies headquartered. I didn't go there, but I have a good friend named Bruna. She went there, and like there's a bunch of different like there's a lot of opportunities with like the Miami Heat and all these different like companies that I don't know all of them, but I know they do. So it's like a good marketing tactic. But obviously, like my first advice is to like try to get it. Obviously, like you can reach out to me, like you can reach out to Columbia, like they will give you the info to like kind of curate it
Right.
and like make it like a syllabus, a proposal. You'd be surprised. Like sometimes they're like, this sounds good, you know? But if not, then I guess like, you know, start a society. Like if you don't already have one, like social media, get guest speakers, like, you know? So I feel like that could be a different route, but obviously like having the class and also like being able to write this, like, I don't know, on like cover letters. Like I took social media law. It's just very relevant.
For
like
sure.
sometimes in these job interviews, they'd be like, what kind of courses are you like in actively that like are preparing you for like this area of law?
Right.
And I was like, loved when they asked me that, because I'd be like, oh, contract drafting, sports and entertainment law, social media law, intellectual property law. Like I had like all of them.
Yeah.
So,
No, I love that.
you know, and I know there are people that go to law schools that literally have none of those. So that's just like obviously unfortunate, but there are other ways. There are other ways.
I knew when I was a 1L and I was going through that year, I was like, I just can't wait to get through this so I can take IP, so I can take entertainment, so I can take drafting contracts. Like those were all the classes I want to take. So to have something like as amazing as social media law, I mean, that's super cool because then you have like so much to look
100%.
forward to, right?
I feel like everyone would want to take it too. Like I'm not surprised that's how you're
Yeah, I mean,
because
you should look into that in New York.
I know I might be
Love
sending a couple
that.
emails today.
Especially in
Couple
New York. Are you
emails.
kidding me? Like Emory is very, like I said, traditional, and like they're very like black and white with the law. So New York is like a super like entertainment fashion hub. So you know, I feel like
I'm
you can
definitely that could be
get in there with
be
that
cool.
for sure.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Okay, I know we've already gone a while. We have a couple of questions specifically on influencer marketing and just like specifics on that. Influencer marketing is obviously still evolving. Like it's one of those industries I feel like that won't ever stop. What are legal issues that creators face when they're like unaware of signing deals and things that they should basically like flag to themselves?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot, of course, but I would say like the main ones, obviously like this one goes without saying, but obviously like compensation, you know, the payment terms. I mean, you know, when you're working with, the Temus of the world, for example, you know, their terms are not always super clear. And also, you know, they're not in the United States. So the governing law is not even US. So, you know, you don't have much ground to stand on. So I think payment is a big one. I mean, I've seen creators, I don't think brands do this that often unless they really want you, but obviously trying to get some sort of percentage up front is always nice, just to know that they're serious. Cause I mean, there's so many influencers that like post getting ghosted, or like they do the content and they never hear back. And that's a huge issue.
Right.
So I definitely say compensation and payment terms, you got to make sure they're like good on your end and it's fair. Another big one is termination. I feel like that's a huge one, just because like brands like have budget cuts in the middle of the month and you're like, I literally planned for this. So, you know, you could have taken another deal. So termination, as in they need to either one, give significant notice. And if they do give significant notice, they need to either pay you for what you've done, or in some instances, which is very rare as the company side, you do a pay or play situation where you get paid either way, which obviously that is typically never going to happen, unfortunately, influencers. But you never know. There are some companies that are like, yeah, that's not fair. If we engage you and we cancel, we'll pay you anyways. So termination's a big one. I would say morals, the moralities clause is huge. I think that with cancel culture and all these like issues, I'm sure you guys have seen the Alex Earl Gymshark drama. I
talked about it a lot yesterday. I hate morality. I do something similar for my internship right now, and it's like every time I see morality clause, I'm like, we're not agreeing to this. I can't do it. There's too many snark pages.
I try to tighten it up for sure. I'm like, only if they're arrested and charged with
Literally,
murder.
I'm like, it better be a felony.
yeah.
Otherwise, nope.
yeah.
Like, I don't
Better
care.
be
I'm
a
not doing
felony.
that.
Yeah.
Well, especially when they say language like, it's up to the reasonable discretion of the brand. I'm like, okay, so they
Oh
can
my God,
say
I
like
redline
one
that.
comment and you're just
Yeah,
like, oh, we're
yeah.
out now. No,
No,
not
that's
Oh
happening.
my
way
God,
too
I
broad.
always redline that.
Yeah.
I'm like, in good faith and reasonable discretion. And then like my comment is something like, we cannot allow you to like to terminate based on what you think is reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll
I'm
say,
like,
this
yeah,
sounds
no.
all like convenience to me. And we're
Yeah,
gone.
no,
Like,
for
can't do
sure.
it.
So yeah, I think the moralities clause is like so relevant in today's day. I will say like it doesn't really like come into play. At least it hasn't in any of my jobs. Typically, like they're neutral. Like the creators know, like, let me not like post on this political stance. Like, let me not like jump on this bandwagon of XYZ. Like they're smart, you know? So I don't think like they try to remain neutral, but you never know. Like the Jake Pauls of the world, like they're gonna pop off on something. So
Oh, something
I
always.
think it depends on the risk of the creator. You know,
Yeah.
at any time I'm working with the business team at my job, I'm like, does XYZ post on time?
Yeah.
And if they're like, no, he or she doesn't, I'm like, okay, so I need to like make sure that it's
We need
not
some
like,
wiggle
because
room.
they're like,
Yeah.
if you post 1 day late, we have the right to terminate. So
Yeah.
now I know that this creator doesn't post on time. So I'm like, all right, I got to make this like language so that if she's 2 or 3 days late or a week late,
Yeah.
they're not going to terminate.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's knowing
so
your
you know,
client.
it's also
Knowing your
part of
client.
like who the creator is.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely. All right, next question. How do you balance protecting creators' rights while also considering the needs of the brands they partner with?
I would say that's pretty hard. I think, you know, typically in this role that I'm currently in,
Uh-huh.
we don't really have the upper hand because it's not our paper, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, example, if like Sephora's sending their contract, it's on Sephora's terms.
Right.
So, you know, if this influencer is like, I really want to work with Sephora, I'm like, okay, like I'll be more lenient, but
Right.
there's also like risks that need to be like cared for. And like, if there's something that's a super red flag, like I will tell the business person that they need to let the influencer know that unfortunately they're not willing to accept XYZ. Like, are you okay with this?
Right. Right.
So, you know, it's all part of like the experience and like kind of like how to navigate, like what can I accept? Like what you said with morality is like, sometimes I'm like, okay, Sephora is not willing to agree to reasonable and good faith for morals. I'm like, this influencer has never been in the media or has never been part of a scandal, has never been arrested. It's unlikely that this is actually going to work. So I'm like, I'll give it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
But there are instances where it's not. So, you know, I try to protect the influencer as much as I can, but I do have to give things, like I just have to like deal with some of the things I wouldn't necessarily deal with
Right.
for the sake of the influencer wanting to work with the brand, or knowing that because I don't have the upper hand, they're not going to accept red lines. I always get emails like when I get a contract for review, they're like, they said they will not accept any red lines. I'm like, here we go.
I'm like, what? Why is it on my desk?
Yeah.
I always
Right,
like, here we go.
yeah.
What now?
You know,
No,
I try to fight back as much as I can, but
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it is true. They're like, the terms and conditions cannot be redlined. You can only redline the SOW.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so then if it says like the SOW governs over the terms,
Right.
I'll add it to the SOW.
Right. Right. Do you
So
do
yeah,
brand facing and creator side, or do you just do?
Yes.
Yeah. Which
Yes,
is
so
you
our
got to change your brain always to be like, which
Yes,
side am I on?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's because we have two sides of our business.
Yeah.
Obviously, one side is the management side. So we manage all these influencers and their brand deals. And then our other side of the entity does like brands hire them to execute campaigns.
Right.
So
then you're an agency for the brand, and what
Correct.
you're asking, then you're putting in the morality clauses.
Correct.
Like-
so then it's like, I'm like, wait, who am I representing right now?
yeah. No,
So,
I do something very similar, and it's always like a brain like pause, like of like,
Yes.
hold on, what side is this? Give me a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
go, and then
Yeah.
we're good.
It's
No,
a switch for sure.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we always end the podcast with the same question. It might be a little bit longer because I'll dig in a little more.
Yeah.
Usually it is just like, if you give one piece of advice for your younger self or someone in your shoes, what would it be? Then I would love to hear that, but then also a little spin on it. A tip specifically into getting into like getting your foot into this space?
Yeah. I think it all comes back to, I know it sounds cheesy, but like just like sticking to like what you want to do and like know that it's like it's what you've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think when you get into law school, if you are like me or like you guys that you know for sure like you want to be in this space, then like stick to that. I think you can get like really, really like lost if you start like if your friends are like, oh, I got this big law interview for OCI, and you're like, should I be doing OCI?
Right.
Like, you know, it's like I will say confidently that I never let that get in the way at any point in my journey. I was so like tunnel vision on it that I just like nothing around me, like I didn't care. Like people were like, I got this like $270,000 offer, and I'm like, that's amazing for you.
Yeah.
I just like didn't care. So
it's not for me. Yeah.
And that's really hard to take. Like that advice is hard to take on, but I can confidently say I didn't care.
Yeah, no,
So
I love that.
Yeah, well, you want to do what you're passionate about and what you're interested in, because you
yeah,
could take these really big paying jobs and be so miserable. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's you give and you take, but it's you're more. I feel like you're just more making more in life if you're passionate and happy
Yeah.
to wake up every day and doing what you're doing. I don't know if that made
100%.
I can
sense.
confidently say I do not get the Sunday scaries.
Yeah,
Perfect.
So
that's
Aw,
you
good.
know, that's really nice.
That's the
I
goal.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really nice to say. I, of course, do have weeks that are super stressful just because like a lot of deals are coming through and I'm like very overwhelmed. But you know, like overall, like all the roles that I've worked with from Disney all the way to my current job, it's very much like you work and then like you go on with your life, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have talked to a lot of the girls in my graduating class that are at the big law firms, and you know, they're definitely like struggling. I feel like, and again, nothing against big law. I think if that's what you want to do, like please do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like for me, like the feedback has been like, I can't wait to go in house, or like I can't wait to pivot, like I can't wait to get out of here. And like
It's not for
that's
everyone.
just
It's not a
a
forever
long,
thing.
long, like sustaining career if
Yeah.
you're constantly trying to run away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I don't know. I stuck to my guns and I had a tunnel vision through all of law school. And like I personally feel like at this point in my career, which I'm still very early on, I've only been barred for a little bit over a year. I feel like it's worked out. Like I think I love like what I do, and I'm like, again, I don't have Sunday scaries. I'm not like having like a heart attack before I log on Monday. Like I just like do my little influencer deals. And yeah, I negotiate with Ariana. So I'm like providing. We're
I
all
love
besties
it.
on the red line thread.
I love it.
So yeah.
No, that's so amazing. I think like these are things that we
Yeah.
have to. Everyone needs a little reminder of. So
Yeah.
I honestly appreciate you coming on so much,
And it's
Oh my God,
it's
of
inspiring for our
course.
audience and
and for us,
and for
Like,
us too. I mean, because
I
I'm a
know.
year out of law school now, and just seeing like where you're at is so amazing. Because I'm like, I want to be there within the next year, the next 2 years, the
We're
next
gonna
3
bug
years.
you. I'm already warning
Oh
you.
my God, please do. Seriously, like I feel like I have like done this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've been in the hustle, and I remember like
Yeah.
I would talk to these people that are like, oh, I work for like Hulu, and I'm like, I would die to be you.
Yeah.
And like I don't work at like the Hulu or the Disney
Right.
currently, but like, you know, I feel like I'm in like a good gig and like I like it and it's like very relevant. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
No,
yeah,
that was
I feel
amazing.
like it's possible. And I will say it's more possible now than it has ever been.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, back in my time, no company was hiring like a junior attorney.
Right.
When I was applying for jobs, all kinds of companies were hiring. Like they're like, if we can get this person now, we
Yeah.
can like shape them into like what we want them to be. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't be afraid. And when these job postings say like 3 to 5 years, I'm like,
Apply anyways.
arguably, I'm at like the 2-year
Yeah.
mark technically. Like it was a stretch, but it worked.
It works out.
Yeah,
No,
no,
that's
I love
amazing.
that. Well, thank you
so much. You're
for coming
amazing.
on. I love this
I
episode.
hope our audience loved everything. I will link
Yes.
all your socials, so everybody
Yes.
click down below. You know the
Oh my
drill.
gosh, I'm dead. Well, it's so nice meeting you guys.
You too. Thank you so much again, Isa, for coming on today. That was such an amazing podcast.
That was so amazing. I learned so much today. I love having her on.
I know.
She was great.
I actually love having guests on. I feel like we get to
Yeah.
dive into topics that obviously we talk about all the time, but seeing lawyers that are in practice, kind of getting over those boundaries and seeing those full circle moments again. I mean, it's amazing. I love it. So thank you, Isa. I hope our audience loved it. In the meantime, you guys know the drills. Follow us on all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, all that jazz.
Everything you can think of.
Everything you can think of. We'll see you in 2 Mondays. Until
Yes.
then, stay stylish,
Stay sharp.
and stay legal.
Bye,
Bye, guys.